From the heart of America, Blind Living Radio. Radio by the blind. For the world. Blind Living Radio. Dedicated to enhancing the blind and visually impaired community while enlightening and educating others. BlindLivingRadio.com.
You're listening to Blind Living Radio, sponsored by Industries for the Blind. I am one half of your hosting duo, Danielle Crapo, and joining me in the studio is my co-host, Harley Thomas. Say hello, Harley.
Hello, Danielle, and we have a special guest with us today.
We do. We are very, very honored to have the president of our sponsor, in Industries for the Blind, CJ Lange, is here in the studio. Welcome, CJ.
Great to be here. Thank you.
We're glad you're here.
We are. Thank you so very much, first and foremost, for sponsoring the program and for allowing us to get the message out about blind living and Industries for the Blind. We really do appreciate all the support you've given us.
You know, communication out to the people that can help us to find more people to work for our company is so important.
Thank you. We definitely appreciate that. So,
and employment. CJ brings up a good part. Your mission primarily is employment of the blind.
Yes, and those with other significant disabilities.
And that's the key mission.
It is. And I know personally, me being born blind, when I finished school, there weren't a lot of options out there for me, as we had mentioned in a different show that you can check out on blindlivingradio.com. There's a 70% unemployment rate among the blind, and Industries for the Blind is working very hard to change that, right?
Yes, we are. And actually, some of our contracts require 75% blind ratio. However, our percentage is far above that, about 84%.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And that's a lot, including a lot of professional stories as well, not just people that work on our manufacturing floor. There's a lot of people in our offices, in our e-commerce system that are totally blind or partially sighted, and they're all on a track for upward mobility.
Absolutely. If you give them the right tools, they can do just about everything and anything that people with sight can do.
So, CJ, Industries for the Blind started back in 1948, but not as Industries for the Blind. Can you give us just a little brief history of Industries for the Blind?
Absolutely. Actually, our company back then was Allwin Products Company, and it was started by a gentleman whose brother happened to be blind. And when he found out that there was a national act, Chavez-Wagner-O'Day Act, that actually required government agencies to make purchases through nonprofits, he decided to restructure the company, make it a nonprofit, and that from then on out was the goal of the company. And getting more business in through the government channel also provided more funds to add more people who are blind to the job force.
That's really neat. That's true brotherly love.
That is. Yeah.
That's really neat.
That's really cool, that his brother had the ability to start the company where, he could help his blind brother out. I know my brother would if he could. So CJ talked a little bit about upward mobility, and you have a little bit of an upward mobility story too. You just became president of Industries for the Blind very recently, am I right?
Yes, I did. Yeah, I joined back in May of 2000, and actually I came aboard to create a website. And at the time, the government, our main customer, was under a paperless mandate. And so it was a business decision that we had to make to create an online channel for our business. What was not known at the time was that could be a huge and great new channel for blind employment. And it was not an easy task, to say the least. There was no other companies out there, commercially or otherwise, that we could depend on as a template, if you will. So it was quite the story when you consider what we took some of our top people who were blind and very skilled and savvy, if you will, with the internet protocol that was out there at the time. We used their intelligence and template, page by page, web page by web page, if you will, developed a website that not only could take government customer orders, but the whole system could be managed by people who are blind. And that created a whole new stream of positions for blind professionals.
That sounds really cutting edge.
At the time it really was. I didn't realize how important that would be for our future, and what that led to was other customer service positions for blind. We have a whole new inside sales role that is basically now it's all blind professionals here, and so it's been very exciting, as well as sales. Now we have people who are blind, and they are out doing sales. They're traveling on their own. Just amazing.
Yeah, I remember when I first became a full-time employee, I did my interview with you for the e-commerce position, and I was just floored that there was this opportunity for me. And a lot of the time, the customers that we would talk to on the phone didn't even know we were blind, because we had the technology to keep up with what they needed. And there's a split headset that we would use with JAWS in one ear and the customer in the other. And unless they send us a picture, none of them have any idea that we're blind. And if they do send a picture, we just say, hey, we can't
Danielle,
see
let
that.
me send you a picture of this product I found on page 312. And you would say?
And then I'd say, well, I appreciate that, but I wouldn't be able to see it because I'm blind. And
You're blind?
that. Yeah, you get
Really?
that. You get that pause. Exactly. You get the pause. Really? You are? Well, yes, I'm blind. Well, how are you talking to me? Well, with my mouth. No.
With the telephone.
Just kidding. Yeah, we do the split headset thing. And I also had a role for a little while in inside sales, and that was just a lot of the same thing. You used Excel a lot, and you used the website a lot to kind of interact with the customers, and it was such a great opportunity for me. So it's been cutting edge for quite a while.
When I take people on tours of our facility, without question, that is still the most exciting part is when we go through e-commerce, and I let people know, and they get the opportunity to hear the technology that our blind professionals are using, JAWS. They're talking in one ear, the customer in the other, and they hear how fast the technology has been cranked up because of how, I guess no way to put it, the potential is just limitless with our blind professionals, and you can just hear it in the technology. It's so fast, and yet they've become that good and that amazing, and our customers are the ones that get the benefit of that.
Yeah, and it's really good to... We should point out also that Industries for the Blind makes it a priority to keep that technology updated. So if there's a new software update that comes out, we have it within days of the release. And that's really important to keep up with, as the internet changes and as people interact with the internet differently every day, we keep up with that despite the fact that most of the employees are blind in those departments.
Right. And we don't see it as anything that's abnormal. It's our mission, and we have to be very accommodating. And we are very much looking for new and cutting-edge ways, if you will, to create even more blind opportunities.
Well, CJ, we want to hear more, and we want to hear more about the different roles employees are taking. But right now, we need a quick sponsor break so we can hear a little bit from Industries for the Blind.
Blind Living Radio is brought to you by Industries for the Blind, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, providing employment opportunities for blind professionals since 1952. Learn more at ibmilw.com. We'll be right back after a word from Industries for the Blind, Milwaukee, the official sponsor of Blind Living Radio. Are you blind or visually impaired? Are you seeking a job? Well, Industries for the Blind is dedicated to hiring people just like you. Just go to ibmilw.com/careers and find out how you can become part of our wonderful team of blind and visually impaired professionals. That's ibmilw.com/careers. From Milwaukee, Wisconsin, this is Blind Living Radio from Industries for the Blind, providing employment opportunities for blind professionals since 1952.
We are talking with CJ Lange today, the president of Industries for the Blind in Milwaukee. I'm here with Harley Thomas, my co-host. And
nice that you're listening to Blind Living Radio. Thanks for coming back.
Yeah. So, CJ, before the break, we were talking a little bit about the roles that employees play at Industries for the Blind, and we talked about e-commerce. Can you tell me a little bit more about what other roles the employees play at Industries?
Absolutely. It's one of the things I'm most proud of is, at IB Milwaukee, disabilities are never seen as reasons to limit the opportunities that are there for blind professionals. And we have, many professionals that are either blind or multi-disabled working in areas of business like sales, retail, accounting, operations. And so really the potential for blind employees is really limitless. And we really try to assess each person's not only skill level, but their interest and how they want to develop their careers. And beyond that, we let them kind of point the way. And honestly, I don't see one department that we have right now, and we have a lot of departments. But if somebody wants to work in it, we'll find a way to accommodate them.
And there's one department on there that Danielle likes more than the others. I don't think that was mentioned.
The marketing department?
I bet it was marketing.
No.
No?
IT.
Oh,
IT,
that's right.
That's correct. Yes.
And why is it the IT department?
Because my husband, Tony, actually works in our IT department. He's our network technician. So it's really great to see him blossom in his career and see the opportunities that he is given by working at Industries for the Blind.
It's very neat. Tony can fix anything.
I can attest to that. He's amazing.
Yeah, he's wonderful. So now we've talked a little about the employees, and we've talked a little bit about your background at Industries. Looking towards your future as president, CJ, what are goals and initiatives that you're most excited about for the future?
Well, and we've talked a little bit about it. Increasing upward mobility in all levels of our company is always number one in my book. But there is something very new that we're extremely proud of, which is called Quality Work Environment, or QWE. And it's something that was spearheaded by the U.S. Ability One Commission, who we basically are under Washington, D.C. level. And they basically set up a program whereby it basically gets the blind employees more engaged into management at all levels. And that is something that's been just, I think, very important in our company, because if you look back at the old days of the sheltered workshop sort of mentality, I think too often you get the image of a company that employs the blind as a sheltered workshop, and that is not at all what we're all about. So what we've been doing is taking the opportunity, and we've got groups of people that are being interviewed and engaged, and we basically take surveys of our top people who are blind professionals and people that have multi-disabilities in our own company, and they bring up things that become actions for the management to work with them on in order to improve the daily work environment and also the career potentials also in the end for blind employment. So
CJ,
I really like that.
You mentioned sheltered workshop. What is a sheltered workshop, and why is Industries for the Blind not considered a sheltered workshop?
Well, again, it's a more of an old image, and it used to be that a blind sheltered workshop, as they called it, it was a place that it was thought of as a low-level, low-tech type of position that a blind professional could, quote-unquote, back then, handle. And that would be, instead of just getting, Social Security or disability type income, they would be able to earn some of their income. And that was the old mentality.
A small amount of income, though.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
very
small,
low-level wage.
Very small. And that's not what we're all about at IB Milwaukee. We believe that there is so much more potential for blind professionals, and that's why, we now, our tagline under our every email signature is leading upward mobility, because we know that there's so much more potential, and they don't have to get that government assistance. We can provide them a career path that can really go somewhere.
That's great. Like Danielle. Danielle is living proof of that.
She is.
Yeah, it was. My husband and I were just talking about it. Actually, last night we were talking at dinner with an aunt and uncle that we were with, and we were talking to them about how good it felt the day that we received our Social Security disability denial letter. So when we got kicked off of the program, we celebrated because we were then contributing members of society in all areas. We weren't just living on someone else's hard-earned tax dollars. We were actually contributing to that pool, and it just felt so good. And my husband said it really well. He said that he felt like he was limitless then, because now the sky wasn't your limit. Yeah, it was exactly. Powerful. It feels good to be able to do that on our own. And we have our house, and we take care of ourselves and all of our finances, and we couldn't do that without the opportunities that we've been given by Industries.
Early on in my time with IB, it would come up all the time, because we'd get people in that were blind and they were new to the company, and they would literally have a fear of not getting that assistance. And I would talk to them about their aspirations for what they could do at the company, but they always had that mindset in their own mind, and the fear that if they didn't get that assistance, they wouldn't be able to pay their bills and whatnot. And it was so exciting, like you said. I mean, to get them past that point, to realize they can do so much more, and they can go so much further in our company, is very exciting.
It is. It is literally life changing. It changed my life. It changed my husband's life, and we're going to continue to change lives as we expand. And
CJ, you've also have a new initiative at Industries for the Blind that expands upon the current role, your current mission.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about that role?
I would be happy to, yes. It used to be, and we've been here about 60 years plus, and it's always been about employing the blind, and we have a lot of people that have multi-disabilities as well, but something that's very new, and when you look at this, the statistics that are out there for warriors that are over in warring countries like Afghanistan. They become,
a wounded warrior.
Wounded warrior. And they have the altercations and things that they go through overseas. And when they come back and they try to become part of society again, their challenge is to get employment, meaningful employment, because of their disabilities that they now have, because of what they've went through, is just staggering. I mean, it's almost a 50% unemployment rate when they come back and try to find meaningful employment. So we're trying as well to make an impact on that.
Now I think what we want to do is when we come back from a break, I think we'd like to talk a little bit about what are some of the goals and milestones you've got coming up this year, as not just this year, but for the foreseeable future with the government changes. And I think it's time now for a quick break. What do you think, Danielle?
I think so. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back after a word from Industries for the Blind, Milwaukee, the official sponsor of Blind Living Radio. Blind Living Radio is brought to you by Industries for the Blind, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, providing employment opportunities for blind professionals since 1952. Learn more at ibmilw.com. You're listening to Blind Living Radio, blindlivingradio.com.
Welcome back to Blind Living Radio. I'm your host, Danielle Crapo, with my co-host, Harley Thomas.
Hello, Danielle, and our special guest, CJ Lange, with Industries for the Blind.
That's right. So, CJ, again, thank you so much for being here with us today. It really does mean a lot.
Thank you.
And CJ, before the break, we kind of mentioned we want to talk a little bit about what we hope to achieve here in the future of Industries for the Blind. And in your new role as president of Industries for the Blind, what are some goals for the future for Industries for the Blind? What are some of the challenges that you're facing, and what are you doing to maintain the employment and try to grow employment?
Great question. And right now we are facing unprecedented economic conditions, both in the federal marketplace as well as commercial. And that's really taken a hit to our ability to fund things that we hold very near and dear to our hearts, our mission to employ the blind and those with other significant disabilities. So my biggest goal right now in my mind, and I've got to be proactive with this, is to address these business conditions and diversify into the commercial world. That's really what I see as a big, big opportunity for us.
So not just rely on the federal government
Exactly.
as a customer.
Exactly. And as an example of that, right now we are pushing, right in our own local community, we do a lot of federal furniture for military and government customers.
So office furniture and office
furniture,
spaces,
yep.
Okay.
But also in the commercial world, that's a great opportunity for us right in our own local community, because we have an outstanding story to tell. And a lot of the people that are right local to us aren't even aware we're here. And being that we're in a new location, only been here about 8 years, we really need to be pushing out in our own community to try to go after that business. And it's a great opportunity because it creates new blind opportunities that are professional positions and can lead to upward mobility.
And you recently acquired a company also over in Middleton, correct? Top Promotions?
Yes. About 2 to 3 years ago, we started a project that turned into an acquisition, and it's a company we've actually worked with for over 12 years. And they are a commercial company, and they provide custom products for many different, anything that you can put on either a T-shirt, a Frisbee, a hat, and they can be for a corporate event.
T-ball team.
Or a T-ball team.
Badgers.
Blind bowling team, as a matter of fact.
Blind bowling team. That's true,
Absolutely.
Danielle, close to your heart.
Yeah.
But that company is called Top Promotions, and again, they were a commercial company. When we purchased them, our whole goal for them immediately, which has taken time, but was to basically infuse our mission statement to employ the blind into their business model. And so what we are doing there is we are actually in the process right now of renovating a building that's local to us here in the Heartland community, not far from Milwaukee. And we're looking to hire blind professionals, and there's going to be brand new positions that are available in the custom products marketplace, commercial marketplace.
Yeah, that's really exciting. Part of my job at Industries for the Blind is doing a little bit of recruiting. And a lot of the blind and visually impaired individuals that I tell about these positions are just excited, and they're very ecstatic that there are these opportunities out there for professionals that might be blind or visually impaired.
And CJ, you've also diversified with a website, blind-made.com, to sell products direct to the consumer world?
Absolutely. And that's actually a niche that we feel that, About 20 years ago, there was a marketplace for blind-made products, and it's sort of faded away. And now that we're looking to diversify more into the commercial world, we realize that there's that opportunity. And again, we can create more blind professional opportunities by looking at this new market segment that we think really could take off, especially with the new advances of social media and internet marketing and whatnot that we can use to really promote it well.
And CJ, one of the last questions is, what can our listening audience do to support? Obviously, it takes some money to support this and provide jobs. How can our listening audience support Industries for the Blind?
Without a question, first of all, they're more than welcome to come and tour our facility. We love seeing new people and letting them know our great story and taking them on a tour. But basically, it's purchasing products and services from us, seeing the amazing, incredible things that our blind professionals can do. And when you realize that the fact that we can provide products and services that are at the same or at even higher standards than commercial competitors out there, you're not only getting great products and services, you're affecting people's lives by affecting blind employment.
So those websites would be ibexp.com and blind-made.com.
That's right.
Great. Thank you, CJ.
Thank you.
Yeah, CJ, thank you very much again for joining us on the show today. I know I've learned a lot about the future and where Industries for the Blind is heading. So thank you very much for that.
It's great to be here.
And helping us better understand our blind community and share that with our listeners.
That's right, because Blind Living Radio isn't just for the blind. It's for both communities, right? The sighted and the blind community working together.
That's right, Danielle.
Well, thank you, Harley, for being here with us, too. And we look forward to next time.
Thanks for listening to and supporting Blind Living Radio. You can support Industries for the Blind by ordering any of our products from blind-made.com. That's blind-made.com.